My name is Christian Dyer, and my obsession is rugby. Back in 6th grade, a couple of my buddies who I played football with growing up, asked me if I wanted to come try out rugby. And before that, I wasn't really sure what the sport was because rugby wasn't too big in America yet, but I said, hey, why not? So I gave it a go and instantly fell in love with it. And my dad was always like, hey, you got to pick one sport to stick with. But I always played football, so that was going to remain the same. But bouncing around from basketball to soccer to baseball, it wasn't going to be, the best for my future and trying to pursue college athletics. So rugby found me, and it's been in my life ever since. I went to the University of California, Berkeley, go Bears, and played 4 years there. So Berkeley has been historically the #1 team in the nation. It's actually the oldest sport on campus. So it has about 130 years of tradition at Berkeley, which is pretty unique. And prestigious school and prestigious rugby program. So you can't just be all athletics. I had to keep my grades, tip top. But it was a dream come true playing there. I'm so grateful I had that opportunity, and it's a varsity sport at Cal. A lot of programs in the U.S. are still club, so I was fortunate to get that experience and the support from the university and having all the resources that all the other athletic programs we were given. So it was a true student-athlete experience. It was tough at times, and like life and like all other sports, there's ups and downs and ebbs and flows. So it's just trying to be as consistent as possible and get better day in and come back each year as a more mature, student and athlete. And you just have to be consistent with everything you do, and there's a lot of sacrifices involved if you want to take it to that next level. But it was a dream of mine, and I gave it everything I had, and I'm fortunate to be in the position I am today. And without Berkeley and without the coaching staff there, I wouldn't be here. High school athletics, I was always one of the most dominant players on the team, and that was the norm for me. And then it was a big shock. I kind of had to take a step back and realize, okay, I may not be the best on the team, and that only motivated me to work a little harder, stay an extra time after practice, and then Friday, Saturday nights sometimes I stayed in. I didn't go out and just got ready for the next week because I knew that's what it was going to take. But I was so fortunate to have the leaders, the older people on the team help me through that whole process, because some of them have been there. I was trying to just be a sponge and soak everything in as much as I could. One of my favorite things was to go back to my high school when I was in college and go to see the football and rugby team and field all questions that were asked, and to almost inspire them to take the next step with sport and to give everything they had. And what I know now is what I wish I knew when I was in their position. So I'm so grateful for this sort of platform and for Obsesh to partner with me where I can be that voice and to help the next generation of just not only rugby players but athletes or fans in general, and help give them the knowledge that I wish I knew. If it was easy, everybody would do it. It's definitely not easy. Sometimes it's luck, being exposed to the right scouts or recruiters or coaches, and sometimes you got to take it upon yourself to reach out to clubs or professional teams overseas. But it's putting yourself out there and trying to get as much exposure as you can. But you have to be good at your craft. People find talent, but I think you could definitely do your own part with getting your name out there and reaching out to the right people and doing everything in your power to get your name out there and to get that exposure. But it's just being diligent and taking risks sometimes. If there's an opportunity that comes your way where you're not 100% sure, sometimes you may just want to take it, because that could lead to so many more doors, and your network is going to be your best friend. So it's meeting as many people as you can and asking the right questions, and just be a student of life.